Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Jenn Tran admits she and Jonathon Johnson have become so much closer after the Bachelorette. Jenn Tran had her heart broken after filming Wrapped for the Bachelorette, but you'd never know it to see her now. After revealing her split from Devon Strader at the Bachelorette finale, Jenn was whisked to Los Angeles as the final cast member of Dancing with the Stars. She's been tearing up the dance floor ever since, but it's Jenn's love life that everyone wants to know about. As soon as she hit Le, Jenn started hanging out with third-place finisher Jonathon Johnson. The two picked up where they left off and teased the Bachelorette fans with multiple TikTok and Instagram videos. Their chemistry is off the charts and fans have been dying to know what's up. Jenn Tran opens up about spending time with Jonathon Johnson. After weeks of speculation about their relationship, Jenn finally spoke about her connection with Jonathon. While she didn't confess to a relationship, it sure sounds like it could get there. While at the DirecTV Gets Real party, Jenn told People that she and Jonathon are having so much fun. That she talked about getting to know him without cameras rolling. The Bachelorette star said, "It's funny, because you learn so much more about the person after the show." She continued, "There's so many layers to uncover and things about them that you didn't know. Especially things that they were feeling in the moment on the show. And you're like, wait, you weren't feeling that way." Jenn then teased, "So it's so nice to know Jonathon even more after the show. We've become so much closer." This is music to Bachelor Nation's ears. After all, many were rooting for Jenn and John. Now they may have a chance at love. DWTS viewers are shipping Jenn Tran and Sasha Farber. While Jenn is getting closer to Jonathon, he seems to have some competition with her Dancing with the Stars partner, Sasha Farber. Jenn has also been making flirty social media videos with Sasha, and the pair has sizzling chemistry. So much so that her followers have been commenting on how cute they are together and how well they get along. This could just be for votes, though, because we know that DWTS relationship rumors get fans interested in the pair, which could help them advance in the competition. We'll have to wait and see if that's the case with Jenn and Sasha. Since the cameras stopped rolling on The Bachelorette, Jenn Tran has been living in the aftermath of a whirlwind journey that few can truly understand. Her face, once ubiquitous in tabloids and reality TV highlights, had retreated somewhat into the quiet, everyday world, but not without leaving behind a lingering question that haunted her fan base. What happened with Jonathon Johnson? Was their connection real? Could they survive the pressures of post-show life? In a Heartfelt interview, Jenn recently opened up about her relationship with Jonathon and admitted that, contrary to the predictable post-show drama that typically ensues, they had become so much closer since leaving the show's fairy tale setting. "The Bachelorette experience is one of a kind," Jenn began, her smile soft and reflective as she recounted the journey. "There's this whirlwind of emotions, and you're falling in love in the most surreal way. But once the show wraps up, that's when the real test begins. For me and Jonathon, leaving the bubble of The Bachelorette was where things truly deepened." The finale had been a roller coaster for fans, and Jenn's final rose ceremony was one of the most dramatic in recent memory. Viewers had watched her struggle with her decision as her heart pulled her toward two men. Jonathon, the kind-hearted entrepreneur with a calm, unwavering presence, and another fan favorite who was the complete opposite, wild, unpredictable, and passionate. Ultimately, Jenn chose Jonathon, and while many believed in their bond, others speculated about whether the steady, somewhat understated relationship could truly last beyond the glamour of reality TV. Jenn admits she understood those doubts too. People want fireworks, right? She laughed. They want to see the drama and the passion because that's what makes good TV. But for me, the connection I had with Jonathon was always rooted in something deeper, something real. It's not always flashy, but it's incredibly strong. So what changed after the show ended? According to Jenn, the biggest shift came when they transitioned from the Bachelorette's carefully curated dates and exotic destinations to the simplicity of everyday life. No more cameras capturing their every move. No more grand gestures designed to sweep each other off their feet. Just two people trying to figure out if their connection could survive beyond the show. It was weird at first, she admitted. We spent so much time in this bubble where we were constantly being watched, and everything was heightened. Suddenly, we're in the real world, and it's like, okay, what now? But that's when we started really getting to know each other. Jenn revealed that she and Jonathon took a deliberate step back from the public eye after the show ended. Instead of diving headfirst into public appearances and press circuits, they decided to focus on their relationship in private. We needed that time, she explained. There's this huge temptation to keep feeding the public narrative, to stay in the spotlight and keep the momentum going. But we realized that if we were going to make this work, we needed to do it for us, not for anyone else. And work it did. The absence of external pressures allowed Jenn and Jonathon to discover aspects of each other they hadn't fully explored during the show. Jenn smiled as she recounted their first normal date, a far cry from the elaborate setups of the Bachelorette. It was a simple dinner at this little restaurant, nothing fancy at all, she said. But it was one of the best nights we've ever had. We laughed so much, and I remember thinking, this is the guy I fell for. Not the one in front of the cameras, but the one right here, being himself. Jenn also opened up about the challenges they faced. It wasn't all smooth sailing, she admitted. We had our moments where we questioned if it was going to work. There were misunderstandings, and we both had to adjust to being in a relationship that wasn't under constant scrutiny. For Jenn, the toughest part was learning how to balance her public persona with her private life. You feel this pressure to be perfect, to have this ideal relationship, because that's what people expect. But we had to let go of that. We had to be okay with being real, with making mistakes. Jonathon, on the other hand, had his own learning curve. He had never been someone who craved the limelight, and suddenly he found himself thrust into a world where every move was dissected by fans and the media alike. He's such a private person, Jenn said fondly. He's not used to all the attention, and it was hard for him at first. But he's handled it so well, and I think that's one of the reasons we've gotten so much closer. We've had to be each other's support system. As their relationship continued to grow, Jenn and Jonathon found themselves becoming stronger both individually and as a couple. We've learned how to communicate in a way that works for us, she said. Jonathon is such a good listener, and he's always there when I need him. I think that's one of the biggest reasons we've gotten closer. He genuinely cares about how I feel and what I need. Jenn also shared that the two had taken up some hobbies together, which further solidified their bond. We started hiking, she revealed with a laugh. Neither of us are exactly outdoorsy, but it's something we do together now. It's become this really special time where we can disconnect from everything and just be with each other. Looking back, Jenn believes that the experience of the Bachelorette ultimately helped them grow into the couple they are today. It's funny because you go on the show thinking that the end goal is finding love. And while that's true, the real work starts after, she said. What we went through together on the show gave us a foundation, but the real closeness, the real relationship, came after. As for the future, Jenn is optimistic. We don't have everything figured out, and we're okay with that, she said. But what I do know is that Jonathon and I are closer than ever, and I'm excited to see where this takes us." Her smile brightened as she added one final thought. "At the end of the day, it wasn't about the roses or the cameras. It was about finding someone who gets you, someone you can grow with. And that's exactly what we've found in each other."